And we're live, everybody. As soon as I've come on to this, it tells me how many people have given this a thumbs up and thumbs down. One of you has already given this a thumb down, and we haven't even started yet. Anyway, I'm so glad you can join me here. I'm Martin. I'm from the team here at Reedsy, and I'd like to welcome you to what feels like the first writing sprint session in quite a long time. Hello to Zach Bard. Yes, if you find it, if you're here on YouTube, head to the comments and let me know where you're coming from today. I'd really love to find out. Tell me if this is your first time, and also if you want to share something of what you're interested in, what you're looking to write. If you're new to us, Reedsy is a network, a marketplace that connects writers such as yourself with some of the best publishing talents in the world. I'm talking about editors, book coaches, cover designers, book marketers. We have Basil Solomon from Egypt, Angelique with a fantastic Stitch avatar, Courtney from Michigan. I believe I've seen you here before, Courtney. Welcome back. Welcome again to a fantastic little session that we're going to have today. A little get-together, a productive old time we're going to have. Nat Reed's coming from Puerto Rico, their first time. Welcome. User CZ9X from Virginia. We have Lisa Letourneau from St. Paul, Minnesota. Coolbras4 from California, someone from DC. Donna from Georgia, first time. Catherine Johnson from the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. Gerard Dunmore in Marseille. We have Takeoff 214 from Manitoba, Canada. Wonderful. Lynn Red, first time. Angela from Las Vegas. So glad you can join us. Just get yourself comfortable. I'll sort of explain everything in a minute once we actually hit the beginning, so we don't have to repeat ourselves. But yes, Adam P. is going to be using Reedsy Studio today. That's Reedsy's very own writing app. You can use whatever you're sort of most comfortable with, but I've got a link in the description below to Reedsy Studio if you want to try it out. And right in there, we've got a really good function that actually lets you know what your word count is for every single day. Robin's first time, and they're writing horror. Wonderful. Michelle Roseberry from Los Angeles, California. Shanisha B from Portsmouth, Virginia. In Portsmouth, you say Portsmouth or Portsmouth? It's tough to know. Robin Christine from Montreal. Anne-Marie from California. Robin from Cheltenham, England. Pie Fantasy World Q writes Colorado. Oh, and the Pie Fantasy World K writes. So I'm imagining some sort of a writing collective based in Colorado, perhaps working within the fantasy realm. Fantastic to see you joining. Jolly Saz is in Somerset using Studio to work on their manuscript. Shinishad, Portsmouth. Okay, yeah, I get that. We have Akasha from Delhi, nice and late. Thank you for joining us. We have Noel from New Jersey, writing thriller. Heli Saleh from London. Wonderful. Leslie from Cherryville, North Carolina. Okay, we are just past the hour, so let me introduce how this whole thing works. I'm Martin, I'm here at Reedsy, and we used to sort of host this quite a lot, but I am now making a solemn promise that once a month I'm going to organise these live events where we'll get together and write. So the whole purpose of this is actually just to provide us a sort of good, supportive environment to get writing done. I'll go through a couple of sprints in which I'll set a timer going. The first two will be 15 minutes, and then the last one will be 10. And during that time, you can write whatever you want. If you have a work in progress, as a lot of people have, feel free to work on that one. If you have an idea you're noodling with, you can work on that. The idea is that with the timer going, just focus in and work on that. If you have no ideas, for each of the sprints, I have a fresh prompt that I can share with you. So you don't need anything, you just clear your mind, and once you jump into it, you'll have the prompt, and away you go. Adam says they have a Cheltenham in Maryland. Cheltenham over here, I think, it's known for two things. There's the girls' school, which is very, very posh. I think they also do horse racing there. Cheyenne from Oklahoma, I believe. Much love to all. Ananda from Malaysia. Salamat Malam right now, quite late. I grew up in Singapore, so therefore my Malay is terrible. Yes, I'll give everyone a good chance to settle in, and in just 1 minute we'll start our first one. What we can do at the end of each one, you can share, perhaps your progress, how many words you've written within that sprint, or if you like, you can give a one-sentence sort of summary of what you wrote. If you're working from the prompt, it'll be really fun to see where you've taken that prompt. If you're working on your work in progress, yeah, maybe even pick a sort of one-word summary of the project. We love to hear what you're saying. Don't necessarily just like paste in your whole bits of writing, because it will just flood the screen and it'll be tough for people to follow. We have Linda from La Paz, Mexico. Wonderful. Fantastic. Epigenic for Atlanta, lived in Cheltenham one summer. A very nice place to be. Selamat pagi, 3 a.m. Woof, woof, woof. Good work waking up early from Malaysia there, Ananda. Anyway, we have a solid quorum of people. I'm really pleased that everyone could turn up for this one. Feel free, before we start, to just give this thing a like, if it's for my own benefit. Think of this as a tip. I get tipped purely in kudos and thumbs up. But anyway, we have, I'm about to start the first one. I'm going to put a bit of music over this one. If you don't like it, you can always turn the sound down within the YouTube player. I know music can be a little bit divisive. But yes, there will be a prompt on here. Just take a look at it, go with it, or just work on your own thing. And yeah, if we're all ready, here's our first sprint. See you in 15 minutes. Okay, and that is the end of our very first one. I see some people have started sharing what their bits were. So yeah, if something happens within the scene that you've been writing, share what that is, or just a little extract from it. RJ9 Grayling, it was the second hottest day of the year, which I will never forget. Sweat on his forehead, dirt on his hand. Lovely. Stephanie Mina, if you can't deliver frozen ice cream to the club, plan B, Slurpees for everyone. Angela Brown, second hottest day of the year, and the land was thirsty for rain to come and fall and cool it off. Let's see, who else is here? 30 Gaming 83, howdy, just hanging out, drinking some whiskey. By the spelling, you're either Irish or American. Starting my first novel a couple of weeks ago, 38,000 words of a first draft on Reedsy so far and counting. Well done. That's great progress. Poetry speaks for us. It was the second hottest day of the year when we noticed a tiny crack of ice forming on the edges of the window, and things were undeniably very different now because we were slowly moving because something. Well, that's quite interesting. First of all, you start it being hot and then have ice forming. So already we have some tension there. All right. Kimberly has added 256 words to their manuscript. Wonderful. Jean, 209. Ellis, who are you? In the current scene, they're just writing a main character. I was just asked why her hands are so cold and she's wearing a shawl in the heat of August. That's good. See, like whenever I'm given like a prompt like this, very often I'll go in and just sort of, especially when it's atmospheric, it's about the day being hot. So you go in and you describe all the heat and stuff. But Ellis here, I really like how you've gone in with a character. Because that's, when you're writing something, you just want to get to something happening. It can be quite a nice constraint to put on yourself. So maybe for the next one we do, if you are writing from a prompt, we'll go in there and name a character within the first few lines and have them do something. If you find yourself on your third or fourth line of description, then it could be that you're spinning your wheels a bit. Make something happen in your scene. Bruce Thomas was the second hottest day of the year, and the winter clothes Ukuk was wearing were draining his strength. The sun hadn't risen above the horizon for many months. Great. Fantastic. By the choice of name and the sort of sun not rising above the horizon, I'm guessing we're in the Arctic Circle somewhere. Thomas added to their work in progress. I noticed Doris Shoeless was perspiring. Wonderful. Orlando Bernardo has written 500 words today. Amazing. Zach Bard wrote a scene where a guy is searching for someone on a dating app to help him make someone else jealous. Sweet and Savory Life. It was the second hottest day of June so far. Nearly everyone, including the cowboy, had noticed to Sebastian. Hi, heat followed by storm here in Aberystwyth. Hell hasn't frozen over and I've actually taken part. Hey, the world's close but getting some nitty-gritty. Good to hear it. Aberystwyth, an actual place in Wales, for folks not familiar with it. It was the hot day. We tried ice cream, but then we heard some weird noise. It was none other than the strangest thing. The snowstorm was coming. Oh, that's a nice little sort of twist that a few of you picked up on. I think there's something in the air about it's the hottest day of the year, but then the snow is coming. Nancy Fraser, it was the hottest day of the year, and the rubble would melt on sidewalks, running like volcanic rivulets to where the sea had once existed. Wonderful. Rachel Harmon added 166 words to their novel. That's really good. That's good progress. And we'll just take a minute or so just to shake it off. If you haven't already, do remember to hit like on this one. And I'll be interested to hear if you are working on a work in progress. What sort of realm is it in? What genre are you writing in? Or is it a character-based piece? Where is it set? We have Deborah Gordon, second hottest day of the year, but that was not what filled me with fear, despite concerns about climate change, which certainly includes quite a range of concerns about what the future may hold. Deborah, you have all the punctuations gone, or are you writing in a certain way that you're cutting out the punctuation just not to stop your flow? I'm fascinated there. Oh, it's a poem, I see from the next one. Pi Fantasy World Q of the Pi Fantasy World Collective finally got out of the writing block. 269 words added to their fantasy work in progress. Amy, or Amethyst Rising, is working on their memoir. Incredible. Orlando Bernardo's is a medieval novel with warriors and castles and such. Thursday Gaming 83 of the Whiskey variety is a character-driven dark comedy space opera, at least attempt at one. Fun. I love that. We have Ryan Grayling's second novel, 690 words first novel you've published. Oh, wonderful. Good to you getting back in there, get the momentum going. Asaku 900 working on the second draft, revisions of an action thriller. Helen Miller, second hottest day of the year, can't breathe, can't think. Visiting an igloo sounds nice. I don't know what it's been like in the rest of the world, but it has been quite warm here in the UK, which is I guess why I picked this one. I believe Monday may have been the second hottest, and then yesterday was the hottest apparently. Sarah Liu, Ho Ho Hospital Holiday, Burley Ives, reprised my fourth craniotomy, Advent with a mole for those not medically inclined or fortunate enough to find a mole burying a hole, a lump of coal, start of peace. Quite like the sort of stream of consciousness rhythm of this. It was the hottest day of the year. Well, actually, it wasn't. It just seemed that way, and the Sweat Lodge Dad called home. We have of F. Wiseman editing their sci-fi, young adult sci-fi light novel. Cool. All right. Well, I think we've had enough of a break. Hopefully, you're shaking it off, ready to jump in with another one. Of course, another similar but distinct playlist of music coming up. And I have, a new prompt. You can continue working on the first one if you have got something going. I've also got a new, fresh prompt for the second one. It is a bit of dialogue that I would like you to work somewhere into the first few paragraphs of what you're writing. Remember with this one, if you can, as soon as possible, name a character, have them do something, and if details of where they are and the space they're in come in a little bit later, that's absolutely fine. But let's get a character in there as early as possible. Let's put 15 minutes on the clock, and here we go. Okay. And that is the end of our second sprint. How did that go for everyone? I see everyone's been sort of sharing their first little bits, which have been absolutely wonderful. I'll read some of them out in a second. But if you'd like to, could you summarize where you've taken this prompt? I'm really interested to see that bit. Not just the first few lines afterwards, but yeah, where it's sort of developed to, where it's blossomed to, whether you've created a character from it. Writing a story, I've said too much already. I think it's your turn to tell me how you feel. Tell me that I'm not wasting my time. Tell me that you all feel the same. That not all is in vain. Uh, let's see. As soon as I hit send and a cloud of text appeared, elongated like a torpedo, Winston thought, I said too much. Why, oh why, can I not keep my thoughts to myself? Diane was nervous. She dressed for dinner. Stevie would be here any moment. He had told her to pick something extra nice to wear, which was the first red flag. That is very compelling. Geoffrey, I think I had said too much about our plans, said Ralph the robber. Hey, that's a name and an occupation. If I was so smart, I would have gotten away and kept my robbery plans secret, and all would have been rich, and I would have been rich and safe. You know, like some of them may be thinking, like, oh yeah, that's a pretty clunky first couple of lines, but you've got some essential details out there. You've got a character, what they're doing, and you know their sort of plan for it, what they want, and that's a great place to start because you know you have the sort of outline of actual things that you can grab onto, and from there you can build onto it. So, well done on that one. Arizia Reason added 700 words to their story. Wonderful. That's great for this one. Rowan Jukes wrote 500 words, finished off the chapter they've been trying to finish for 4 days. Very close to finishing the second draft. So proud of it. We're proud of you. Well done. We have Kersey. The story's turned scary and the land is cleared at the sadness of the fairy. Jacobus Viharson. He thinks you guys took a hit on his son. Julia drew back. Why would he? I said too much, too much. He turned to go. Julia caught the shoulder. She ignored the discomfort of not seeing his hands. Oh, compelling. Bry made a character who was kidnapped and ended up saying too much and talked about the location of his boss's family. Ooh, I love that. Keep talking, murderer. She could be the murderer. Let's see. Bass Solomon, another 300 words into chapter 50. Third book of a progression fantasy. Hopefully publishing this one in August. Pascal Solomon, what is a progression fantasy? I must admit I'm ignorant to this. Robin Barker, really struggling to get stuff into this chat. I wonder if refreshing the page might be helpful if you're actually just physically struggling to press enter and get things through. Akashi, a vanished man, returns after 3 years, gives the journalist a secret file and whispers I've said too much. By morning, people are dead and she's being hunted across London for the truth. Excellent. Danica Della, also doing an early exploratory opening for a forensic review, decoding Wuthering Heights, science, imagination, and hidden depths based on Emily Bronte's own text. Excellent. Really excited for this one. What else have we got here? I've said too much. Bee's bottom lip quivers, hearing her name amongst the list of casualties. She pressed something cold into the bandaged skin of the soldier's hand. A key. Run. Woohoo! That's great. That's a good active start with the character, Bee. Maya Malaguti, currently writing their first book. This live has been so helpful. Well, thank you for coming. It's only as good as the community that is here. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to endeavor to do this once every month. I initially was about to tell everyone, like, yeah, last Wednesday of every month. Then I realized June, I'm not going to be here for the last Wednesday of the month. And looking even further, I do not want to do this on Christmas Day. So, although once a month, somewhere near the back end of it, we'll put this one on. I might bring up some guests, change them up a little bit. Pi Fantasy World Q member. Only 260 on this one, but their co-author and they are working out a puzzle their characters have to solve. Currently in chapter 28 of their fourth draft. Let's see. Jeffrey Kim, I've said too much about my negativeness, said Abby. I was so sad, maybe, about my past grandfather. I said horrible things to you right now, Paul. I'm so sorry. Will you ever forgive me? Free-range female. He wiped his hand on a greasy rag and extended it to the stranger, who looked at it dubiously and gave it one light shake before dropping it. You could tell a lot about a man from his handshake. Excellent. Okay, a progression fantasy is a subgenre of speculative fiction centering on a character's intentional, quantifiable increase in power and skill instead of relying on innate talent or abstract growth. Okay, so is it sort of like an evolution or sort of a drilling into that lit RPG thing where I know in my head, and I'm sure it's absolutely wrong. Lit RPG sort of does feature a lot of like gaming mechanics to the point where you have like characters literally upping their stats from chapter to chapter after each roadblock. Orlando Bernardo working on chapter 94, third draft of A Warrior. Robin Barker, a thought occurred to Kevin. I'm not alone. Who are you? I'm Ammon, the Marquis of Hell, and your body is mine now, but I've said too much. Excellent. Very, very Cenobite-y. Very, where are the Cenobites from? Not Death Wish. Someone can correct me there. You know, my body is a roadmap of pain. I've said too much. Marisdel is leaning away from me, no longer holding her coffee mug. I wonder if she will bolt, sprint to her room and stuff a suitcase. Excellent. Lit RPG is sort of a subgenre, progression fiction of the subgenre. Yes, although it has its own popularity. Yeah, a lot of my friends are now into that dungeon crawler Carl to the point where I will almost certainly be reading it at some point. I've said too much, Mika whispered into the empty space. Okay, what is this empty space? You could sort of elaborate, but into the empty space that's vague. So detail is always our friend. Might be good if you can ask the first 500 words to be sent earlier with a synopsis. We cannot put too much here. There's a word limit doing 2 docs. This is not really necessarily a place where you're sharing all of your work looking for feedback or anything, but it's just an opportunity for us to just sort of share, you know, one line about what we're doing, what we're working on. If you are trying to actually type and do all your free writing here in the YouTube chat, because this stuff will disappear in no time. But yes, do feel free to share, yeah, just a little bit about what you're doing, but yeah, don't feel like you have to dump this whole writing, all your passages in here. Pihu Shrivastava, I've said too much. No, she whispered, tears trembling. You only finally said the truth. The room fell silent as years of hidden pain slowly unfolded between them, like broken glass. Slowly unfolded. I love the sentiment here, but does broken glass unfold? Does it fall? Does it crumble? Does it turn to dust? Maybe. I jinxed it. Maybe. I should have knocked on wood. I struggle with coincidences being actual coincidences. If I believe in the supernatural, my problems won't be based in reality. Ooh, interesting. DCC is such a fun and easy read. I'm on book 3 at the moment. That's Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah, basically, I'm hearing but more and more of it. I think I googled it once, and suddenly all my content I'm being served is around that. So I am progressively being influenced by the algorithm, but no doubt it awaits me. Cool. All right. For the last one, we're just going to do a 10-minute sprint. For this final one, if you are indeed working on the prompt, if you are working on your work in progress, continue as you were. If this is productive and helpful for you, fantastic. I'm so glad that you can do this along with us. But if you want a fresh new prompt, the last one is going to be a location. For this one, yeah, I want you, if the location specification is maybe a bit vague, so as soon as you can, maybe just on your first instinct, add some specificity to it. Pick a person to put in it. Again, name a character, have them do something, have them have something that they want, and go from there. You've got your location, you've got a character, and something that they want at this moment, and let that be your jumping off point. Okay, we'll wrap up in, this one's going to be 10 minutes. We'll wrap up shortly after that. But yeah, remember to give this a like if you haven't already. And here we go with with sprint number 3. And there we go. All right. Everybody, yeah. Feel free to, let me know where you've taken this story. Not necessarily share the verbatim what you wrote, but I'd be interested to know what location you picked, who went in there, etc., etc. Let's see, a recent one, Heather Francis, a subterranean underworld, a secret hidden earthly space reserved only for those who deserve the place in it. The workers, the aerators, the food seekers, soil binders, crawlers, networkers. Ooh, interesting. Christina Ramsey, the family workshop where Angie upcycles wooden furniture for his parents to sell. Great specifics. I love that one. Got a name in there as well. He's there at night because during the heat of the day, the varnish doesn't set. Perfect for overthinking. So Angie's a dude. Interesting, interesting, interesting. What else have we got? It was an eerie feeling to be on the 56th floor with not a soul around. Brittany, good name, had climbed all 56 flights of stairs. She could hear the clock strike midnight as she reached for the handle. Where's she going to? And what is this eerie building here? After hours, I sat inside my mother's closed flower shop, folding unpaid bills with shaking hands. The flowers had already died, but her favourite song still played softly from the old radio. I love this one. This is great. You picked a very specific business, flower shop, doing something, folding the unpaid bills, which tells a lot. Flowers had already died. There's a radio playing softly. Her favourite song. Tell us what the song is. That's great. These are the sort of details that really make something like this. Well done. Maureen Diaz, an overworked employee trying to tie up loose ends, unaware she was not alone. M. Chaley, a tailor's business that closed 5 minutes early. The main character needs her wedding dress. That's great. That's always a good bit of tension. I get the feeling that seamstresses and tailors dealing with wedding dresses a lot of the time they must be a certain sort of patient to have to deal with the customers who are high stress. Sorry, some people seem to have been turning up with the schedule just now. I'm not sure where we went wrong there. Potentially, it could have been something messed up with the calendar invite for the daylight savings. If that is the case, then I'm very, very sorry. Let me have a look into it. Yes, if you have turned up late, let me know what time zone you're in. I'll see what we can do about it, because there's a good chance that our internal calendar system has not quite done it right. Really apologize for that. But as I told people before, we're looking to do this, was it 4 p.m.? Okay, I'll have to have a look through that one. But yes, so the aim of this EST, it says 4 p.m. It is currently Eastern Daylight Time, I believe. So Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, okay. So I think potentially it may have messed up the daylight savings issue. Okay, I'll have a look into this one again, but really big apologies. I've noticed that we suddenly have a big upspike of people turning up. However, really, really apologize, but we will be running these every single month. If you actually do want to take part in the actual sprints, you can go back to the beginning and start again with this video and pretend that you're seeing it all for the very first time. However, for the rest of you who have turned up here, yes, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be doing this once more, God, I feel really bad for people who've just turned up. If you want to, I'll stay. For people who have just turned up, I'll stay and do the first 2 sprints again, and we could pretend. Everyone else, feel free to log off. But yeah, I will stick around here for like another half hour for everyone who turned up. Yes, so end of first session. We'll start the second one now. Hello, welcome to Reedsy's live writing sprint, the second one that's going on here. So, as everyone who was here for the first half can attest, it's just an opportunity for us to get together, write in one another's company, and just get a little bit of work done. So if you've got your own work in progress, then you can work on that one. However, I have prepared a few writing prompts for anyone who's just looking for some inspiration, just looking to get some words down. So if you are keen on that, get your books out and get your word processors. If you're working on Reedsy Studio, if you don't know what Reedsy Studio is, feel free to head to the little description on the video and you can click and use that one. It's a free tool and it allows you to track how many words you've actually been writing in these sessions. Bow tie for you. What are we going to talk about? You're going to be writing anything. This is just an opportunity for us to just be productive, to get together and just write for writing's sake. So sometimes it just helps to be observed by someone. It's like writing in a virtual cafe, but you're already surrounded by loads and loads of writers here. So yes, if you've got your own work in progress, I'd love to know in the breaks exactly maybe what you want to share about it, whether that's a quick little synopsis or a little bit of what genre it belongs to. For people who are working from our little prompts here, yeah, do a little summary and tell us where your story has gone. For the people working on the prompts, I've already learnt from the first session here. I would encourage you, when you get the prompts, pick a character and have them do something. The tendency is to sort of describe the location and the feelings. But yeah, get a load of the prompt, figure out a character, just give them a name, make them do something, and work in the prompt there. So if we are all ready, for this again. For people who have already done the first one, I'm just going to be repeating some of the sprints we have. This one's going to be for 15 minutes. There'll be some music playing at the end. We can sort of discuss what we've been writing. All right, so here we go. Question number one. I made the mistake in the first one. Here is our very first sprint. And where we go. Okay, and that brings that particular writing sprint to an end. For those of you who have just joined us, I'm Martin from Reedsy, and there seems to have been an error with the calendar sent around. So some people joined us an hour and a bit back, and then some people just joined us at the top of this hour. However, we are now on our second way through our writing sprint session. So the whole point of this is to work on your work in progress or to work on the little prompts there. So if you have enjoyed that particular sprint, do let me know actually what where you went with that prompt. No need to actually just share all the stuff you have there. It's probably just a lot of writing, but yeah, tell me where that particular prompt took you. And if you're working on a work in progress, feel free to share. Yeah, what your project is, what the genre is, maybe something about your character, and then we'll hit onto our next sprint in just a little bit. Candace says they wrote the entire time just through free writing. That's great. That's great. Melissa Villanueva, it was the hottest day of the year. Teresa knew there was nothing she could do about her plants that would not survive. I feel you. I feel you. We've recently just repotted our plants because turns out a lot of our plants were dying because they were just being cramped into their little pots. In Davo AP, it was the second hottest day of the year. The road was like the stovetop, and no vehicles drove on it. Jake prepared eggs and bacon in a pan. Curiosity made him wonder if he could make breakfast, like on the hood of the car, etc., etc. Nat Reeds is writing a Western mystery romance. I love that. Your avatar is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Sandy Jarvis is working on their first suspense novel. RJ9 Grayling. Yes. Oh, back for the second round. Wonderful. Glad you're finding it useful enough to stay for the second rotation of ones here. Orlando Bernardo has written 694 words of their book. Thank you for staying around as well. Let's see who else is here. Jalalakos. It was the second hottest day of the year. Everyone had closed their stores and shops, and went to the beach to enjoy themselves while bathing in the sun and cool, fresh sea. That sounds nice. Not a lot of conflict to start with, but hey, that's a good place. It's very evocative. Something really lovely. God, I could do with going to the beach and enjoying myself in the waves. Jeffrey Kim was the second hottest day of the year. People were suffering from heat wave. As I was walking to the smoothie shop, I heard something exploding. As I turned around, trucks and cars were exploding. Oof, that's already a lot of action, a lot of tension. Betsy Warner is on chapter 1 of a novel in progress, revising for the male character, Ben. The Untamed wrote a little short story that'll continue in the next session. Nameless Being is writing a draft by hand. No idea what the plot is, just throwing things around, hoping something good comes out. Some people still write on pen and paper. Something about that connection people feel is a more organic way of working. Candace Cheney is writing a character called Sylvia who's facing the suffocating heat of a family beach day, using raw sensory materials to brace herself against the terrifying reality, her mother's sci-fi medical coma. Well, that took a turn. Very interested to see where that's going. Cool. If this is your first time around, meaning you weren't here for the previous hour, please do give this video a like and consider subscribing. Yeah. Let's see. It was the second hottest day of the year, and after the exhibition, interesting detail, went to Claudie's house where they were serving wine and champagne, still or sparkling. I went to the kitchen, and then I saw her. It was Clara. Let's see. Len Mill says they're slow but wrote 350 words in the newest section of a book. Hey, that is progress. That's something. Well done on that. July, the hottest month of the year on the eastern seaboard. Some thrive in the heat, others languish. Humid and sticky to the point where your clothes adhere to your body, similar to the way ... Fantastic. All right, so if we're happy after this break, yeah. Again, I think some people, you feel like you have to share your whole thing on the comments. I'll tell you, the chat here is a terrible place to be drafting any work, but do keep on sharing what you've been working on, where these prompts take you, or your progress on your work in progress. Let me bring up our second sprint. This one is going to be a bit of dialogue. I want you to work in, not necessarily at the very beginning of your piece, but somewhere in your first paragraph or two. Once you see this, I want you to first create a character, give them a name, give them something specific, put them in a location, and give them something to do. It doesn't have to be something high tension, doesn't have to be an argument or something perilous. But I think once you give yourself some anchoring details, a name, something about them, a location, and something to do, things may flow a lot more freely. I saw some people mentioning in the comments that they hit writer's block halfway through that, and then someone else kindly suggested that perhaps if they are working on their own piece of work, to then dip into the prompt for a little bit just to keep things turning. It's all about keeping your legs pumping, your mental mental cogs turning before all the cobwebs sort of settle into it. Just keep that momentum going. All right. So if we're ready for it, here is another 15-minute sprint with a new prompt. That's a piece of dialogue to incorporate someone in there. Remember, character, location, action. Okay, and that is the end of our second little writing sprint. How's that for you? Let us know in the comments. You can share your word count from that section, or if you want to tell us where you actually took that prompt, who your characters were, what situation you put them in. It's really fun to see everyone interpret everything just slightly differently. Let's see what we have here. Jasmine knew that telling Benjamin about the promotion this early was dangerous. The agency director could still change her mind. Oh, that's fascinating. Yeah, you've got hinting at something, a sort of a greater world, two characters. What are their relationships? Obviously, they're close to one another. Brian staring at Sarah. She does not deserve you, she said. But murder? Is that your only option? He asks. I've said too much, she replied. Adam marched through the forest with his men, lush and dim. The guide approached him. I've said too much, he said. Forgive me, my lord. I led you to a trap. He drew his blade, a willing bait. Ha! Fun. Let's see. Lena says, do you know Ivan too? She said. You too, she replied. I've said too much. In that instant, we both knew we had far more in common. Crucci is writing a fantasy mixed with mystery and psychology. They're actually making them go on a heist to steal a bunch of forbidden leather diaries to find a cure. Ooh, forbidden leather diaries. The leather bits I find intriguing. What's so unique about these diaries? Do let me know. That evening, so many years ago, after Mary shared the schoolyard taunting, her mom explained why she had chosen the name she had given to her, Miri, her only daughter. That's great. Your character, you got a bit backstory worked in there. Let's dial it a little bit back, see what else. I've said too much already, I fear. I've a tendency to undershare about normal things humans talk about, but to overshare about things I should keep to myself. Destroying the Earth, for example. Oops. Excellent. And let's see, the 12-foot alien Uduk standing behind President Tremaine at the Resolute desk placed his large grey hand on the Tremaine's shoulder, causing the president to say, I've said too much. I've said too much, Johnny's face said. Johnny's face looked sad. He turned away and headed for his house. My shame crept over me. Why did I have to mention Rosalie? Our conversation was going so well. Great. Getting in some names there. After years of saving dimensions, hero Lex is rejected by the people after a single mistake. His greatest enemy, actually his own suppressed alter ego, opens his eyes to human ingratitude. Lex is indeed his own shadow self. Let's see, they're from a girl who saved her dynasty from a similar curse a few decades ago. Okay, W.M. Crucci. Really cool. How has that been going for everyone? If this is your first hour of this, thank you for joining us. Apologies for getting the timings wrong on the schedule, but if you're in your second hour of this and going through the prompts again, I hope you're still finding this useful. Remember, the whole point here is to just keep your hands moving, keep writing. Doesn't have to be great. Someone in there mentioned how they sort of run into the problem. They're trying to write horror and analog horror, but feel like they're sort of bumping into things that feel inauthentic. But as someone else pointed out, don't have to worry about that. If you've written this, if this has come from somewhere within you, it's going to be uniquely you itself. There is no new idea under the sun. It's just how you bring it to life, the details and specifics and style and craft you bring to it. You can always add complexity and foreshadow stuff in future drafts, but for the first one, it's just about getting that raw material out. And if it's all cliches, that's fine. You can always fix that. Let's see. Pi Fantasy World Q of the Pi Fantasy World Collective is still here. You know what? I'll do just one last one. Our last short one is just 10 minutes, and then I may shoot out after that because I would have been doing this for 2 hours. But thank you everyone who's stayed for this long and have joined us for this. As I mentioned, I'll be aiming to do these once a month. At least for the rest of the year. If it becomes popular, we may do a little bit more. I may bring on guests, change up the format a little bit, but it is just a good place, hopefully, for you to come and get some writing done amongst fellow writers. UPenn U Creativity is joining from Nairobi in Kenya, first time almost midnight. Thank you for joining us. We've had someone from Malaysia here, some folks, I think even further from Australia, perhaps. But yes, Caroline Morales got a run. Thank you for joining us, Caroline. Let's just throw on the last one. It'll be 10 minutes. I'll say a quick goodbye. Remember to give this a like. And yeah, here we are. 10 minutes. Oh yeah, this one is going to be just the location. So if you plan to use the prompt, just observe it, pick a specific of what this location is, give these people something that they are doing there. Remember, it's going to be a vague location. It's up to you to give it some specificity and bring it to life with a character, with a name. All right, here's sprint number 3. Okay, and that was our final sprint. Thank you for sticking around, everyone. It's good to see so many people still here. Yeah, if you've been working throughout this entire time on your work in progress, let me know what your progress has been like. It's very edifying to see so many people adding hundreds and hundreds of words to their manuscripts. That's fantastic. If you've been working from this prompt, yeah, let me know what sort of location you chose. What was the sort of business after hours? That bit I'm very curious about. Avion Paris. At midnight when Santa's workshop closes, the toys come to life. Ooh, very fun, very fun. Yeah, Jason hurried down the stairs, his flashlight flickering as the ground trembled under his feet. The underground market felt like an endless maze as he navigated through its corridors in pitch darkness. Nice. I love this sort of new trend of like liminal space horror. And that sort of feels like it's in there. All these little passageways that we're all familiar with. Betsy Warner, the bus is crowded with after-work commuters, and Sid and Miri are face-to-face, gripping the metal rails that extend across the bus while debriefing each other about their workday. Awesome. Wrote so much today, 625 words. Incredible. Any amount of words you add to your manuscript is a triumph that's worth celebrating. All right, so as I mentioned before, I'll be doing more of these in the coming months. We'll aim to do one a month. I may bring on some guests. Yeah, throw a bit of a format change, get some different music on as well. Yeah, if you're still about, remember to give this thing a like, consider subscribing. I put out new videos each week. If you haven't checked that out, I'd appreciate the views. You don't have to watch it, just leave it running in the background. It all works for me. Math, the office glow was all electric, fluorescent light flickering over the empty office. Lainey moved her laptop to the left of her desk, disgusted with the long hours she has spent preparing a client something. Danica did over 900 words. Jolly Saz has been here since the start. Could not get the brain working in the heat, but has enjoyed watching the creativity. Well, thank you, Danica, for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. Sorry I'm whispering now. I know that there's people sleeping above. It's quite late now. But I appreciate everyone who stuck around. Yeah, really fantastic community. You guys have really made this a wonderful creative environment. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you around. Bye.